Everybody, welcome to week 8 of 501. This is a shorter week, and there are a couple big things due, but not a lot of little things. So, I don't know how you feel about that, but anyway, let's walk through week 8. So, if you start by looking at the discussion forum, there are two discussion prompts. The first one is writing a letter to a young teacher, and that's in quotes, whatever you mean by young, kind of new to education, sharing your vision of, what education is in the 21st century or just now. Um, Tony Wagner does that in his epilogue, so please share that and then reply to two classmates. So this week, let me pause for a moment. Everything is due by Friday, and then my grades are due 48 hours later. As like a drop dead, no matter what, we need to have this done by Sunday. So Friday at midnight is when everything is due. So for this discussion post, initial post is due by Wednesday, and then two replies by Friday. So that's really your last threaded discussion, and then the other discussion forum is to share your presentation. So there's two parts to this. The thought of this is that this replaces the synchronous session, or a face-to-face session where you actually stand up in front of everybody and say, "Hey, here's a presentation." So there's a couple things you can do when you share a link to your presentation. You can add some speaker notes so that when people open it up, they can read through and get a better idea as to what you're thinking with particular slides. That way you don't have to have a lot of text-heavy slides. It can still be a visually engaging presentation, but have a lot of the details inside of speaker notes. So if you don't know how to do that, Google speaker notes or presenter notes, and you should be in pretty good shape. When you share it with people, if you're going to do it in Google Slides for this, which is a great way to share, make sure to click that blue share icon and change it to anyone with a link can view. Don't limit it to eagles.cui because then I can't see it. You don't want to just make it public, but anyone with a link can view. It by default it'll say private, and then a little blue link that says change. Change that from private to, say it with me. You don't need to say it with me. Anyone with a link can view. And then that's kind of part one of, you want classmates to see it. Try and get that uploaded like Friday morning at the latest. Here's where it starts to get goofy because the assignments kind of due Friday, but then the replies are due Friday. Do you see how this is a catch-22? So if at all possible, if you're able to share a draft of it, which is why Google Slides is so great, sharing it by Wednesday would be really helpful. The way it tends to work is people tend to share the final one kind of Thursday night and then reply to their classmates Friday night. There's not a hard and fast rule. It's I don't know. It doesn't really make sense, honestly, that the assignment isn't due until Friday at midnight, but then you also have to reply to two classmates by Friday at midnight. So if everyone waits till Friday at 11:40 p.m., that doesn't give you much time. So if you're able to share the presentation at least the night before, that would be great. Wednesday would be ideal, and then reply thoughtfully to two classmates that are hopefully not in your group by Friday at midnight, and then everything needs to be submitted Friday by midnight. I'll be grading Saturday, and if there's anything we need to catch up on, we can do that Sunday, and then grades are submitted by me on Sunday. So if you have questions about any of that, reach out, let me know. And then that's kind of part one of your LA Unified iPad Reboot assignment, is to post it to the discussion board. Part two is to actually submit it, right? Don't forget to actually submit the assignment. You can always get to that in all of your Concordia courses. If you look kind of below the weekly schedule in the left sidebar, I don't know if it's mirrored or not, maybe the left sidebar. You have kind of weeks 1 through week 8, and then it'll say course item, submit assignment. You can click directly on that, and then you can submit. If you're missing anything or submitted before, you're able to submit that way. This is one of those assignments where safe assignment is a requirement. So if you used Google Slides, and I hope you did because it's so easy to collaborate on Google Slides, then you'll need to go to File, Download as PowerPoint, and then you can actually submit the PowerPoint to SafeAssign. So please do that. If you've not been a part of a group, you won't be able to submit, so you need to make sure that you have joined a group. And that's about it. Right? There's just a little bit of reading. You know, the end of the Wagner and Prensky books. So yeah, it's been fun having you in 501. If you are near the Bay Area right now, or you happen to be visiting at some point, you're always welcome to come visit me. I'm at Hillbrook School in Los Gatos, kind of between San Jose and Santa Cruz. So come visit, we'll hang out. If you are going to any upcoming CUE conferences, it would be great to hang out as well. There's a growing cohort of Concordia EdTech grads that are attending and presenting. So it could be fun to have like a lunchtime meetup or something. The one coming up soon is Fall CUE. It's almost sold out, October 27th and 28th. And then Spring CUE or National CUE is like St. Patrick's Day weekend in March. That is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. About 6,000 people. So it's a fun one. Submissions were just due for that. But if you want to attend, it'd be great. I will be there. I will be hopefully presenting. Fingers crossed on that one. And if you ever want to present at a conference, particularly with CUE, feel free to reach out for me. This course, you may not have known, comes with free lifetime tech support and PD support. So feel free to reach out. If you go to Fall CUE, National CUE, if you go to ISTE, I had a great time with a Concordia alum, George Garcia, who was in San Antonio. We took an Uber and got some crazy, or a Lyft, we didn't take an Uber, and got some crazy tacos in San Antonio that were on diners, drive-ins, and dives. So that'd be great to start getting kind of some groups together of folks that are going to conferences, because technology changes pretty fast. And if I had that Ferris Bueller quote right now, I would say it, and some of you would get it or not. You know, technology moves pretty fast. You might miss it or something. But you know what I'm saying. Look it up, and then you can tweet at me and say, hey, here's what that quote is. Or just link to the YouTube video. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let me know if you have questions around week 8. Questions about the final assignment and kind of the procedures of that. And happy October, everybody.